News Special Report.
Winter storm watch in effect for tomorrow and tomorrow evening. We'll look for snow to change into freezing rain.
We've got about 30 accidents here in the Spokane area.
Trees laden with ice and snow are still falling in this area, knocking out power lines.
Taking the poles out, it's terrible.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah, real dangerous,
Whoa.
We've got no power and nothing here.
Probably look like a prairie here next week.
Never seen a winter storm as devastating as this one is.
Well, it appears we are approaching crisis stage with Ice Storm 96.
KREM 2 News presents this look back at Ice Storm 96.
Good evening, everybody, and Merry Christmas. I'm Charles Rowe.
And I'm Nadine Woodward. It has been more than a month now since the inland Northwest was hit with an ice storm like we have never seen before. It knocked out power to more than 100,000 homes and businesses and claimed 3 lives.
Damage estimates have soared past the $10 million mark, and even today, utility crews are still working to repair down lines. In this special report, relive what you couldn't see while the power was out. Watch as neighbor pitched in to help neighbor, and as officials tallied the damage, find out who paid the highest price. Ice Storm 96 hit November 19th, and KREM 2 News was first on the air to tell viewers that this was going to be no ordinary storm.
The snow has now changed over to freezing rain. You can probably even see it blowing right in front of me here. But that, again, is another big story that has developed today.
Well, there were indications the night before that we had a large storm moving in. Now, the problem was to find out where the rain and snow line was going to be. Because, well, the next morning when I woke up, I noticed that it was raining. Freezing rain on the trees and on the power lines, and I could just see just mounds of ice forming on the trees to where you actually saw the trees in my backyard and the bushes just toppling over. So by about 11 o'clock, I knew we had a big event going on. I finally called the news director at about 1 in the afternoon, and I said, this is probably going to be your lead story, and we're going to see big-time power outages out of that. This is a 100-year storm that occurred here. This is the one from which all the other ice storms will be measured now. This is it. Everyone's going to talk about the ice storm of 96.
It was a rude awakening for the inland Northwest on November 19th, and downright dangerous for drivers. Snow and ice covered the roads, and the morning began with several serious accidents like this one.
We've got our morning commuters. They need to slow down. We've had numerous accidents along I-90 here.
By noon, it became clear the roads were not going to be the only problem, as viewers learned on our newscast that day.
There are some power outages. We're getting plenty of calls from the north side here in Spokane.
Already between 3,000 and 5,000 people were without power. Within hours, businesses and schools around the inland Northwest realized there was no way they could operate as usual.
Well, we do have some more school closings to pass along to you this afternoon.
Then the damage reports began to pour in. Tree branches snapped like toothpicks under the weight of the snow and ice, blocking streets and knocking down power lines. Washington Water Power had people on the streets since late morning trying to fix the damage, but it became so severe and trees came crashing down so quickly. At times, the fire crews could do little more than put up yellow warning tape to keep people away.
We've seen wind and heavy snow and wire down and what have you, but I've never seen anything like this with the ice storm.
On November 19th, you didn't have to look for trouble. Trouble found you, often in places you thought were safe. Damn it. This was a simple, cruel lesson in physics. At some point, gravity always wins, and it never cares where it finds its next victim.
Then I've got 2 through the carport, and all 4 in front have crashed down in my lawn and ripped the power out of the wall.
Yeah.
As evening fell, it became painfully obvious there would be no miracle. The power would stay off throughout the night. Families prepared to camp out and make the best of it, then wait until the lights came back on. But they didn't realize, for some, the wait would be weeks. Some people were much better prepared for the weather than others, as KREM 2 reporter Dan Garrity found out as he surveyed the damage the morning after.
Ice Storm 96 hit Brown's Addition harder and more completely than any other neighborhood in Spokane. Snapped lines left nearly every home here without power, and most without heat. As they dug out this morning, most people said they've never seen anything like it. But Timofey Kulvich and his friends handled the sub-freezing night like a speed bump. Last night was a bit chilly, he says, spoken only as a veteran of more than 50 Russian winters could speak. In fact, the only allowance Timofey made for the 25-degree temperatures was an extra blanket.
Может быть, эта погода похожа на погода в Киеве?
Timofey said this weather reminds him of his native Kiev, which he left just 4 years ago. And in Kiev, they know the best way to keep warm is to get out and get to work. There are many old people living in his building, he says, who can't manage alone. So sticking to advice passed down through generations of Russians, those who are able need to help each other. In Timofey's words, that's the way our life is.
That spirit of teamwork spread throughout the inland Northwest. Once people realized the scope of ice storm's devastation, they knew they may have to survive for days on their own. And wherever the storm left its mark, you found neighbor helping neighbor.
It may be back-breaking work, but this group of boys cleared out entire streets on Spokane South Hill this morning.
It's tough. We had a couple of really big branches we had to move.
Even more challenges covered the way ahead.
It's good to be doing something while we're out of school rather than just sitting around.
Walking through the neighborhoods today, we heard story after story about people pulling together and helping each other out. And perhaps that's the best thing about a bad situation like this.
You don't have to ask for help. People just see you out there and they come out and help.
She credits her neighbors for hauling away branches that once covered her roof. The work is far from over. But these neighbors know the cleanup will go that much faster with teamwork.
You know that you're going to be taken care of.
While neighbor was helping neighbor, crews worked feverishly throughout the night to turn the lights back on.
Their first priority, homes like this, where the most vulnerable prayed they wouldn't have to spend another night in the cold. We'll take you inside to witness the anticipated moment when the lights finally came back on at the Park Place retirement community.
From behind the wheel, you might think of Dodge Caravan as a car, probably because in some ways it is. Its cab-forward, wheels-to-the-corners design makes it stable and sure-footed, a lot like a car. Its advanced suspension makes it nimble and agile, a lot like a car, with all the utility of a spacious four-door van, all of which suggests we got the name right, Caravan. See the friendly Northwest Dodge dealer near you.
On the next Extra, turning despair into hope, meet a woman who has a unique prescription for making sick children better. Then find out how being millionaires is changing Christmas for this small Texas town, only on Extra, Wednesday at 6:30 on KREM 2.
News in brief. Excitement reigns as J.D. Power and Associates announce Appeal Awards. Pontiac's top 3 categories: Sunfire, most appealing compact; Grand Am, most appealing midsize; Bonneville, most appealing premium midsize. Dealers celebrate award excitement with incredible values like this.
Now get low 3.9% APR GMAC financing on any Grand Am Cooper sedan in dealer stock. But do it now because seats are filling fast. The event ends with the new year. Drive Grand Am at your local Inland Empire Pontiac dealer today.
Really just changed my life by teaching me responsibilities, and I can take care of things myself without asking somebody else to do it.
For free reading programs, call the Literacy Hotline at 1-800-323-2550.
Celebrate New Year's early at Wendell Ford, Suzuki Northtown, and Wendell Nissan Infiniti Isuzu Ford Truck Center at the Y. Tomorrow, it's Wendell's year-end sell day. You'll save thousands on selected Ford vehicles. How about up to $3,000 cash back on selected Suzuki? Or get up to 0% financing on selected Nissan. Look for the sale tag. Incredibly low prices. Every used vehicle at Wendell up to $4,000 off. And all are priced below Blue. Sale starts tomorrow. 5 days only at Wendell Ford, Suzuki Northtown, and Wendell Nissan Infiniti Isuzu Ford Truck Center at the Y.
I'm just almost speechless. We've lived here 27 years, and I've never seen anything like it. It's just really been a nightmare.
We're wearing all of our clothes to bed and keeping hats on our heads, and got a couple of candles.
Day 3, and the ice storm crisis peaks. The temperatures plummet into the low teens, creating dangerous conditions for the tens of thousands of people still without heat.
A record 700 people flocked to emergency shelters set up around Spokane and North Idaho. For many people, these shelters were the only option for a warm meal and a warm bed. Over the course of the crisis, more than 1,700 people stayed at shelters. The Red Cross also provided medical attention and served 14,000 meals. Hundreds of volunteers gave their time and gave of themselves, which was perhaps the most valued service of all.
I've never been to a nicer place. Nobody treated me so well.
Cold weather drove Prince Trieb from his home, but he never expected to find the warm welcome he received at the shelter.
I was a bachelor, and I thought, well, who cares for a bachelor? But surprising.
So let's try to take it slow if we can.
Prince lives a lonely life without any family in Spokane. He didn't think he'd make it through another night at home, especially suffering from a broken shoulder. But he's now found new friends to lean on.
Well, I say you're doing real good.
83-year-old Prince fought for his country in times of war. He survived 3 injuries, but he's often searched for meaning. Amazingly, in a matter of 2 short days, he says he's found it.
I often wonder why. This is it. This is mine. For the neighbors.
While the Red Cross struggled to take care of those without heat, power companies searched for additional crews to fix all the downed lines and transmitters. The call for help went out and was answered by linemen from all over the Northwest and Canada. Like an army, they converged on Spokane to help in the ice storm war. They came from Seattle, Republic, Post Falls, Portland, Lewiston, Utah, even British Columbia and Alberta. Working long shifts on little sleep, they tackled arcing lines and webs of dangling wire. They left their own wives and children so other families in other neighborhoods would have light. Encouraged with thank yous and donated cups of coffee, at times it was hard to tell who was more excited to see the power back on, the linemen or the customers.
That was the case in the Spokane Valley at the Park Place Retirement Center.
Like 40,000 other Spokane customers, the Park Place retirement community lost its electricity Tuesday. That's when this tree cut through power lines and left 200 seniors in the dark.
We were watching television, everything went out. And we thought, well, the power will be on in 20 minutes. That's usually the way it is. They work so fast.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case this time. As the sun went down, Park Place officials started scrambling to keep their 200 residents comfortable.
Cooking by candlelight.
Cooks worked by candle power in the kitchen. Fireplaces kept seniors warm.
Well, we've got some 200 fragile people in there, and they get a little colder than most people. They can't get up and get around, so they need a little special care.
And that's why restoring power to this retirement home was one of the utility's top priorities. Lineman like Don Ayler was looking forward to getting the seniors back online.
Oh, yeah, you bet. It gets pretty cold after a couple days, and we understand that. So we try to get it back on as quick as we can, and hopefully they'll be in good shape.
It took about 2 hours to rehang and splice the power line together. Crews then counted down the seniors' last seconds in the dark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The lights came on to reveal the seniors' final meal they'd eat in darkness.
Miss Meredith, how is it to have the power back on?
Wonderful. Just wonderful.
Well, I'll give them a hug and a kiss if they want her, because that's just great.
Power crews declined Mr. Whitaker's generous offer, instead choosing to move on to a seemingly endless list of customers that still needed their help.
By Thanksgiving, that list of customers was smaller, down to about 10,000 households. But then another storm moved in. It was yet another blow for people and power crews engaged in an ongoing tug-of-war with nature. Even so, the people we spoke with could still find reasons to be thankful on this Thanksgiving Day.
In one of Spokane's nicest neighborhoods, power lines are still laying severed on the ground 9 days after the ice storm dumped them there.
It's been going on now since last Tuesday, off and on, and a little tired of the whole thing.
Kay and Gary Harms have been camping out in their own home using the fireplace for heat. When power came on briefly, they thought they might be able to cook a Thanksgiving turkey after all. Then about 6 a.m., the power went out again. Now they're headed to eat with relatives, as friends say, like refugees.
They feel like refugees. They said they keep kind of going from, one house to another.
Of course, the Pilgrims were refugees, and in the spirit of Thanksgiving, thousands in this region have become pilgrims in search of warm showers and hot meals. And they try to be thankful for the firewood. And they try to be thankful for the cold, because after all, it is their ice box.
Everything outside was, that was our refrigerator. And hoping the raccoons were hibernating somewhere and did come and take it.
And they try to be thankful for the power crews still working 17 hours a day to fix the whole mess. But it isn't easy.
To go without those things that you're used to wears on your patience.
Yet these pilgrims, these refugees, were indeed thankful for those who did have power. It could have been a real turkey of a day in Spokane if it weren't for folks like Chris and Mike Carlson at the Coffee Pot Cafe, who kept their doors open for the holiday and served up a feast. And they've served every meal for free, no matter who showed up. Because this is one time in Spokane when you just can't put a price tag on a hot meal.
At times, it seemed there'd be no recovering from the ice storm's aftermath.
As hour after cold hour ticked by, people without power counted the days, but began losing faith. Power companies tallied the damage, and one man paid the ultimate price.
Just don't get any better of a person than Jimmy was.
A tribute to fallen hero Jimmy Dean, next.
No electricity, no phone, no light. Can you relate? For nearly 1 week, we were shut down and lost big sales. Camp World of Cars must make up lost time and sell 100 vehicles by December 31st. It's the Ice Storm Inventory Reduction Sale going on now.
To the pursuit of justice, they will devote their lives. For the sake of America, they will fight for the truth. In the name of glory, they will risk it all.
Just call us Jag.
In the courtroom or on the killing fields.
We're unarmed.
The nation's best defense is a pair of criminal prosecutors, Commander Harmon Rabb.
I was always a sucker for dress whites.
Major Sarah McKenzie.
Major, I never had you pegged for such a romantic.
New year, new network, new champions. JAG, CBS, January 3rd.
News in brief. Excitement reigns as J.D. Power and Associates announce Appeal Awards. Pontiac's top 3 categories: Sunfire, most appealing compact; Grand Am, most appealing midsize; Bonneville, most appealing premium midsize. Dealers celebrate award excitement with incredible values like this.
Now get low 3.9% APR GMAC financing on any Grand Am Cooper sedan in dealer stock. But do it now because seats are filling fast. The event ends with the new year. Drive Grand Am at your local Inland Empire Pontiac dealer today.
Bergen's Furniture will be closed Thursday to mark down prices for our giant pre-inventory sale. This is a sale with incredible markdowns throughout our over 140,000 square feet of furniture. Shop all 5 floors. You'll find sale prices in every department, including Spokane's largest leather gallery, our huge bedding department, even our Broyhill Showcase Gallery. The doors open Friday at 9:30 for our giant pre-inventory sale at Bergen's Food and Division.
Ice Storm Inventory Reduction Sale. It's Camp's biggest inventory ever. Unbeatable savings. Chevrolet vehicles with 3.9% financing up to 60 months. BMW, Volvo, and Subaru at meltdown prices. Over 400 used vehicles all at red hot savings. Hurry. Sale ends December 31st.
The scope and duration of Ice Storm's damage was like nothing power crews had ever seen, making other disasters look tame by contrast. This power crew from British Columbia has had only one break since the ice storm. That's when crew leader Don Bennett flew back to get married, then returned for a working honeymoon in Spokane.
Some of us have gone home, some of us haven't gone home.
And the job is far from over.
There's so much damage done to our system that's just taken us a lot longer, and subsequently we had to hire additional crews to help us put it back together.
City Manager Bill Pupo sensed that from the first night of Ice Storm.
What we're doing is urging the schools to stay closed for tomorrow. We're urging businesses to at least start later in the business day.
It would become, by most accounts, the worst natural disaster this region has seen since Mount St. Helens spread ash from one end of the state to the other. When the dust finally settled on the ice storm, Pupo put the price tag for cleanup at more than $15 million in the local area, a figure neither city nor state money could come close to touching. Realizing he would need federal help, on December 18th, Washington Governor Mike Lowry sent a letter to President Clinton asking him to free up more than $1 million in the form of low-interest loans and grants. The answer, however, isn't expected for another month. And when it comes in, these guys will probably still be working.
I understand we might be here till the end of January.
Most of the contract crews, like the one from Canada, will get a few days off for Christmas, but they'll be back after the first of the year, working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, repairing the hidden damage of the ice storm. But the ice storm came with even worse hidden damage, the kind of true devastation that can never be measured in dollars or time. The ice storm took a life. A Washington Water Power crewman electrocuted 2 nights after the storm hit, walking into a downed wire full of more than 7,000 volts. The Jimmy Dean story touched everyone associated with the ice storm, whether they knew him or not. Here is how we remember the man.
And Jimmy died serving us. But we choose today to come and to celebrate his life.
A hero was laid to rest today with full military honors. 200 people came to pay tribute to Jimmy Dean, a man who served others most of his adult life, first in the Air Force, then with Washington Water Power. On a snowy night last week in a pitch-black neighborhood, Dean answered a call for help and in the process lost his life, but not before touching many others.
Just don't get any better of a person than Jimmy was. We all loved him very much.
Co-workers showed up, unable to keep up a tough exterior, but unwilling to hide it either.
It's hard to cope with.
A large, close-knit family was there too, along with a small 3-year-old son. Conrad knows his daddy won't be coming home. He just doesn't know exactly why yet. The flag Dean earned as a veteran was folded ceremoniously and then given to young Conrad. It will never replace his father, but what it represents may someday help ease the pain. Honor, respect, and thanks from people who never even knew the man who died serving others.
This is our opportunity for some of our guys to come and show our respects.
Maybe that's why it hurts so much. A hero was laid to rest today.
Through it all, an incredible irony.
The storm wreaked havoc in the dark, but when the sun rose the next morning, we found it also left incredible beauty. Coming up, lessons learned from Ice Storm 96.
Mazda now! It's year-end clearance time. Every Mazda, 4.8 and no payments for 90 days. Mazda now! Like SE5 Cab Plus, this price, these terms. Protege, this price, same terms. Now! 626, this price, 4.8 and no payments for 90 days. Mazda! Counting down. Year-end clearance ends January 2nd.
It's here, the final week of December, and the spectacular year-end celebration at Ennis Fine Furniture. For a few days only, in addition to already low special year-end pricing on renowned Drexel Heritage and other great names, take an extra 10% off the marked sale price of all furniture and accessories in our store. A purchase of just $500 qualifies, and all special orders on furniture are included. Plus convenient terms, design assistance, free delivery, and credit cards welcome. All for you at the year-end celebration now at Ennis.
It's the end of the year, and there's something special coming. It's the special delivery sale from the clever idea people in Plymouth. Right now, get Plymouth Voyager Plus with air conditioning and 7-passenger seating at no extra charge, all for this low price. Plymouth Breeze is an excellent gift idea at this price. And they've also wrapped up the fun-loving Plymouth Neon Espresso with this great price. Going on right now during the Plymouth Special Delivery Sale.
See your local Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Follow the rainbow to the Wizard of Oz on Ice. Now America's favorite fantasy is live, and it is spectacular. The speed, the spectacle, the excitement make the Wizard of Oz a show you'll remember for a very long time. Follow the rainbow to this once-in-a-lifetime experience. There's no place like Oz on Ice.
Playing Spokane Arena December 25th through 29th. Buy tickets at the box office and G&B Selected Seat outlets.
The 18th annual Toyotathon is on. It's Toyota's biggest annual sales event. The best time to drive home a 4-wheel drive Tacoma at just $209 per month. Or step up to a T100. Get up to $2,000 in customer cash back. Or take advantage of 5.9% financing. But you have to hurry. Toyotathon's only once a year, and it ends soon. Don't wait. For full details, see any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
So what did we all learn from Ice Storm 96? For one thing, we learned something about the character of the people of the Inland Northwest.
People who were less concerned about complaining than getting on with recovery and showing gratitude to the strangers who were making it happen.
And when the lights went on last night, people were coming by offering us coffee and cookies, and they were giving us a thumbs up, and it's like being a celebrity or a hero, you know, it's great.
Hero is the operative word. Sure, if there were scattered grumblings throughout the area when an unhappy few couldn't see past their own front yards, but for the most part, people realized quickly all these guys had just one goal in mind: to make total strangers comfortable and safe in their own homes again. School kids sent power crews the kinds of personalized thank you cards only school kids could make. And letters of gratitude poured into utility companies, letting them know the effort did not go unnoticed.
You wonder, does anyone know we're out there working this hard? And our customers let us know that they knew, and that did make a big difference.
It's nice having the people all come by and thank us, tell us we're doing a good job. The people in this neighborhood are some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah, they keep us pumped up. They bring us coffee, donuts, just out of the blue. Every time we get the lights on, it's always thank you, hello, and it's pretty awesome.
Ice Storm 96 may have been the worst weather disaster in the city's history, but it also brought out the best in some.
This whole neighborhood is a model neighborhood for people caring.
While it robbed thousands of precious heat, it made them discover something even more precious: each other. It's easy to look back and think only of the damage done by the ice storm, but hopefully in the last half hour, you have been able to see some bright spots the event brought out in all of us.
The community spirit, the outpouring of support as neighbor helped neighbor, and a feeling that we can survive such tests of nature. When you think of Ice Storm 96, always remember there was also a positive side.
Merry Christmas, everyone.